KJ and Dondero on WEEI.
Boston's sports original.
We were advised by our attorneys, we were advised against reaching out directly to the 22 women out of concern that it would be considered interfering with a criminal investigation. And it's this, among several other reasons, that made it important for us to use independent investigative resources that were unbiased and comprehensive so that we could get a full picture and full perspective of the criminal and civil cases.
KJ and Dondero, WEEI, thank you so much for starting your Sunday with us. That's the Browns GM, Andrew Berry, at the introductory press conference for Deshaun Watson a couple days ago, discussing why the Browns did not talk to the plaintiffs before bringing Deshaun Watson into the fold. We'll talk to Deshaun Watson here in 2 minutes. Let's get to a text, and then I'll let Mark get back to the Baker Mayfield. Text line 37937, go ahead.
Well, from the 413, dude is a hater, referring to you, KJ.
Of course.
Why are you hating on Baker Mayfield? Why are you hating on somebody for making money?
Okay, so before, and then I'll let Mark have the floor after this, I'll say this. I'm calling out the double standard. You know what they told Dak Prescott when he was trying to get his contract done a couple years ago? Oh, you can make that money up in endorsements. You can get endorsements. And that's for doing something. Baker Mayfield hasn't done a damn thing. And he's got all the endorsements. I'm just calling out the double standard. I could care less about Baker Mayfield's money. I'm calling out the fact that he's the face of a product when the product that he's actually supposed to be driving is still sitting in the driveway. Mark.
I understand that point. But Baker Mayfield, again, was a Heisman Trophy winning #1 overall pick. And Dak Prescott played at Mississippi. I covered him at Mississippi State. Okay, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. But, he came into the league. He was sort of an underdog.
Third rounder, yeah.
I know he was playing for the Cowboys, but they had to,
biggest franchise in the country.
There wasn't as much fanfare associated with Dak Prescott right away. You didn't know if he was that good.
Fanfare over Baker Mayfield?
I just said he was the #1 overall pick, and he won the Heisman Trophy.
Bradford at the same school winning the same trophy. There was no fanfare over him. Baker Mayfield is trash.
Yes. Okay, but are we debating whether or not this company should have?
I'm not.
I don't know why
I'm
we're
just
having
calling
that
out
debate.
the double standard.
I don't care
that Dak Prescott has to take the biggest franchise in football everywhere and then when he's trying to get his football money, they scream at him, well, you can make it up in endorsements. Man, kiss my kiss, man, with that.
Well, he does the yogurt, the Oikos, right?
Yeah, that's much bigger than, I don't know, insurance. Oh, come on.
I mean, look, he had a lot of hype. Okay, he was an electric, polarizing guy. Somebody obviously bought him. Like I said, it was probably just as simple as he's a good-looking quarterback who was the #1 overall pick, and people are excited.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Yeah,
that plays a role when they're putting you on TV. They look at that, especially people that know nothing about sports. These advertising executives that are trying to find something.
Prescott is the quarterback of the Cowboys. He's not that good-looking. I guess that's what it is. Come on,
he was the #1 pick. Yeah. People were excited. They had a little bit of success early. He had hype. He had more hype than Dak Prescott. So they were banking on his hype. That's what they were doing. Hype.
KJ and Dondero on WEEI. Still to come at 11. We're going to talk about this threesome story that's kind of developing with the Red Sox. It's pretty interesting.
Every time you say that, I'm like, what? Threesomes? Okay.
There's a threesome story happening with the Red Sox. That's at 10. So with Deshaun Watson, and I find this very interesting, that people are asking, why did the Browns not ask the 22 plaintiffs in a civil case, not a criminal case, because, again, 2 grand juries said there's not enough evidence to bring a criminal case forward. Okay? I'm kind of sick of these people who are like, okay, so we're just going to keep trying to find grand juries until we get what matches up with our opinion. And let's put this in perspective. Now, I don't want to downplay the charges that are at hand, but it is a civil matter. So imagine your new job, Mark. Let's say you go for a new job and they say, hey, wait a minute. We understand that your neighbor is suing you because you keep knocking down their fence and their dog is defecating all in their yard. We want to talk to your neighbor first before we bring you in. Would that be fair? No, because it's a civil matter.
Yeah.
Right. It's a civil matter. And so for all these people who are screaming, look, civil just means that there's going to be some financial type of judgment. It does not mean that someone is criminally guilty. And it's becoming nauseating because it's like, wow, I didn't know, Mark. Did you know this? Because I know you have a degree from Bryant. I have one from North Carolina A&T. That, hey, you could get a degree in East European geopolitics, COVID research, and criminal matters on social media in 15 days. Did you know that? You could get your doctorate now? Because that's what's going on.
No, I didn't know that. Look, I am uncomfortable with the fact that there are 22 women out there that are making serious allegations against Deshaun Watson. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know if we're going to ever find out what the facts are.
It's bad if it's one.
It is bad if it's one. It is bad if it's one.
But if it's not criminal and it's only civil, then the Browns, who have nothing to do with the civil case, these things didn't happen on the Browns facilities. He was an employee of them. Why would they talk to the plaintiffs? Why?
So you're supporting the Browns in their actions?
Yes, why wouldn't they? Because at the end of the day, nothing criminal came back. You know, when the criminal matter came out with Aaron Hernandez here, it was a no-brainer layup. In fact, they were offering refunds on people who wanted to bring his jersey back.
Okay, well,
because it was criminal.
Well, I will criticize the Browns because giving $230 million guaranteed to a guy
but the hater who just talked about me getting on Baker Mayfield's money? Okay, you're doing the same thing. Who cares how much money he gets? If the Browns are willing to pay it, they give it to him.
Well, I'm not
football.
But I'm not criticizing Deshaun Watson for taking the deal. I'm criticizing the Browns for giving him that deal with all of this stuff, the stuff still up in the air.
There's no criminal matter.
There's no criminal matter. But I don't know. That's a guy that you're going to have to now bring in. And I understand that the Browns are desperate for quarterback production. I mean, they haven't had it since they moved back to Cleveland. But this is a guy, I don't know, based on everything we've heard, that feels like a pretty bad dude. I mean, 22, it would be bad if it was one. But the facts are he had 22 women filing civil suits. That's a lot of women. That's a lot of masseuse. That's a lot of bad things swirling around this one person. So that would make me very uncomfortable, and I don't know why they decided to give him that much money. That's my take. I'm not criticizing Deshaun Watson for taking that money now, but I don't know why Cleveland felt comfortable with giving him that type of money.
So maybe people should at the grand jury people if they know who they are. But don't go after the Browns. The Browns are just making a business decision. If you're upset with anybody, go after the grand jury. But you're not going to do that. All right, KJ and Dondero, second hour next. I told you it is the fastest moving sports talk show in America. Red Sox talk next here on WEEI. Thanks for hanging out.